Hi guys, my name is Jennifer and I'm going to be talking about episode 13 of Timeless, which premiered last night. And it was quite, I'm going to be honest, it wasn't my favorite episode, but it was really neat how they brought up some of the subplots that haven't been discussed for a while. So let me see where I can start here. So mainly the episode focuses on Wyatt, and he really wants to bring back his wife. That's been the whole thing throughout the season. And he believes he's found the killer because Garcia Flynn, who they've been pursuing, has given him a name. So he went to go visit the guy in jail in the last episode. And the thing is, what happened is, I can't remember the conversation, but I feel like it wasn't exactly a confirmation that he was the killer. I think Wyatt just really wanted to believe that. So, based on all this information that he has, and he does some research on where the guy came from, who his parents were, he goes back to the 80s, and he actually steals the time machine with Rufus's help. And Lucy stays behind to try to give them some time to steal the machine. And she has her own subplot, which I'll get to in a moment. But anyway, what happens with Wyatt is that they go back to the 80s. And I actually thought this was going to be a thing where they were going to run into their younger selves, but that actually didn't happen. So my theory about why they can't go back to their own times, unless maybe they weren't born quite yet. That's possible. I'm not positive. It's a lot to keep up with on this show. So anyway, the point is he's trying to stop the killer's parents from ever hooking up, or rather conceiving the man. So he goes through a lot of deception to try to keep the woman away from the man who she's going to have the guy with. And unfortunately, everything just keeps going wrong, and they keep ending up together. So Wyatt gets really frustrated, and he has a tendency to act irrational. He doesn't quite take a moment to breathe and try to figure things out in a good way. So unfortunately, his irrational behavior causes him a lot of trouble in this episode. He tries to get the guy away from the girl, and he uses a gun to threaten them. He had no intention of killing the guy, but unfortunately when the guy was trying to run away, he fell and he hit his head, and that caused a really bad injury that led to his death. So, although he prevented the killer from being born, Wyatt has some guilt over killing an innocent man. Well, not exactly killing, but leading him to an early death that he wasn't going to have originally. So, that part he has trouble dealing with. So, besides that, he believes that since they didn't have the man who was going to grow up to be the killer, he believes that his wife is going to be alive now. But here's the twist. She's still dead. The two other victims that the killer had killed, they're alive. So that makes me think that either Garcia Flynn gave him a false name, or there are other things going on that we're not sure of yet. Maybe, I don't have many theories on this. I'm sure there's a lot of theories out there. I haven't really read up on them. But I feel like there's a big twist coming with his wife's killer. I could say that I'm guessing it could be Garcia Flynn, but I feel like that would be really pushing it. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, that's where that went, and he's in trouble now that he's stolen the time machine, and I don't know if he's in jail or something right now, but he could be on probation. But it looks like he's going to be in the next episode going back in time with the team, so maybe they let him off the hook or they're watching him. I don't know. So anyway, with Lucy, so she stayed in the present time. She is there with them, with the group, trying to figure out what to do when... So this is a character I haven't talked about. His name is Anthony. He was Rufus's mentor, and he worked for the group who invented the time machines. He betrayed them, and now now he's working for Garcia Flynn, but he has a lot of confliction over what he's doing, so he's just always kind of been in and out of some episodes. So we actually haven't seen him for a while. So he contacts the group and he wants to talk to Lucy. So she goes with him and they meet privately. And he explains that he thinks the way to destroy the group that they're after... Sorry about that, I had to pause for a moment. So what I was discussing was Anthony and Lucy meet, and so he wants to destroy the time machine that he and Flynn have, and he's hoping that Lucy will do the same thing with their time machine, because he believes that the group that they've been trying to destroy, Rittenhouse, he believes that if they destroy the time machine, then Rittenhouse will have no way to ruin the history that he believes they're planning to ruin or to change for their own purposes. Yeah, there's a lot to explain with Rittenhouse. It's too much. So anyway, what happens is he asks her to do that, and he explains that when she hears that there was an explosion in Oakland, then she'll know that he destroyed the time machine. So there was an explosion in Oakland. However, when Rufus and I think her name's Agent Christopher, something like that, one of the leading agents, they go to investigate the crash and explosion and everything, and they don't find any debris from the time machine, but they do find Anthony, and he's dead. So we don't know what happened exactly. We can assume that Garcia Flynn figured out what he was trying to do and killed him, and made it seem like there was an explosion of the time machine. I don't know. That's kind of up in the air right now. So we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, there wasn't a lot of Garcia Flynn in this episode, which they have been focusing more on lately. There's times when he's not featured as much to give the other subplots some time. But he and another like him, her name's Emma, she also wants to bring down Rittenhouse, so they're working together now. And we only got a little touch of their story, so maybe we'll see more of them in the next episode. Another big thing that happened, Lucy actually confronts her father. Her father was absent throughout most of her life, and she just recently discovered who he is. So in another episode earlier on, she actually went to go visit him, but she pretended like she didn't know him because she changed her mind about telling him that she was his daughter. So she actually confronts him in this episode, and she tells him all that she knows, and he's actually a part of Rittenhouse, she's figured out. And he's actually very ecstatic that she's in his life now. Unfortunately, he's not crazy about the welcome that she's giving about Rittenhouse, because she very much despises it at this point. And he believes that he can get her to join Rittenhouse because it's in her blood, that kind of quote. So that makes me wonder if Lucy's gonna become a part of Rittenhouse. Because there's the other story where supposedly Lucy is going to work with Garcia Flynn because of a journal that Garcia Flynn found. So, don't know. My guess is if she were to join Rittenhouse, it would be so she can bring them down from the inside. That would be my guess as to why she would ever consider joining them. So, yeah, a lot of things up in the air right now. And next episode looks fun. They go to the 20s, which that's one of my favorite time periods. And we'll see what happens with the story. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!